Dopamine. Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamine.
back on the tail of Gunnar. As he's looking to make an overtake already. Down the inside he goes.
Is he gonna go? He's gonna do it!
Oh, with Hackett now up into P9. Down the inside he goes. Another aggressive move on the other Mercedes driver. Is he gonna make a mistake? Doesn't look like.
Closing. Problem is, if he goes.
Oh, that's nice for Broad Adam, moving up to P7.
As he's currently looking to gain about 3 or 4 points. Oh, and is Nelboy going to go for it down the inside of Waza? Seems like he is, and he makes up that position. Beautiful overtake by Nelboy.
12 races, multiple divisions, 20 drivers.
All that sound good? Then why not join us now ahead of the new season? The link to our Discord will be in the description, and we hope to see you on track with us.
Delta T Racing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DTR. We are here for round 10 of Season 15 in Division 1. We're here in Qatar. We cannot race here IRL, but we can damn well do it digitally at least. So, welcome in everyone. We've only got 12 drivers in at the moment. We should be having Charlie join us some point during the quali session tonight, so we will have 13 drivers. A lot of drivers not wanting to take part in Qatar because it's the type of track that just chews up your tyres. It's not very fun. So we've got Sportmad and Ricker in as the reserves this evening. While we are watching Benny go around on his outlap, we will have a look at the standings. So Benny is top of the table still, even though he did not take part in Belgium last time out. We have Sportmad, who has jumped up to P4 in the standings with his win last time. Grelis has gone up to 5th with his P2. And a good showing from Theo and Mars Ranger in 3rd and 4th respectively, putting them 2nd and 3rd in the standings. Cadillac have overtaken Red Bull by 3 points at the top of the constructors. But let's see if the Red Bulls can do something about that this evening. So, let's go on board with Benny as he does his first flying lap this evening. So he's taking a very wide line into turn 1. Early braking, but early on the throttle as well. A light bit of braking down a couple of gears on the throttle, nice and early. Throttle all the way to the floor, coming into turn 4. Stay on throttle through 5. Heavy braking into the hairpin of 6. You can take a bit more track than that if you need to, just to straighten out the car. Very neatly through the S sector here. This part is very nice during the race if you get the right camera, because you see the cars going from left to right to left to right again. Now, the fast triple right-hander. This is where your left side tyres will be chewed up and spat out by the game. There is a car in the way. It is Benny's teammate Bogorovsky starting his lap and giving his teammate a tow at the same time. So that is a 21.6 for Benny. That is going to be difficult to beat without a teammate. So Cassell is starting his outlap now. Skipper is on a lap. D-Rush is on a lap. Connor getting well out of the way of the cars around him. I believe that is Ricker, who will be the next one to set a time. So there are 16 turns on this circuit, and none of them really like your tyres. They will eat everything up, and Charlie has joined us, so we should see him out on track shortly. Ricker does a 22.4. There is a McLaren of Moncho coming across the line now. That is a 23.5. Connor is next across the line, but it'll be Cavolis, who has invalidated. So has he got the battery to go again? No, he does not. He does a 22.4. So he would have been just behind Ricker. Skipper invalidated, I'm guessing. Sport Mad, a 21.2. Absolute craziness from the Haas reserve this evening. And Bogorovsky does a 22.892 to put himself in P4 for the time being. Who do we have next? Mars Ranger is on his outlap, but Cassell is behind him, invalidated. So D-Rush will be the next man across the line. He almost invalidates there. Very lucky to get that back on the track the way he did. So, who is the next car around? Let's see, it will be... Or it would have been Havoc Connor, I believe. But he has invalidated. Theo getting well out of the way of his teammate, who is only on an outlap. So, Connor is coming round to finish his lap. Cavolis is diving in. Skipper coming round the final corner. Let's see where he can put himself. Goes ahead of his teammate, a 23.9. Not a bad lap at all. Bogorovsky going for a second lap. Did not improve. He was 3 seconds down that lap, but he is going again. He has the battery to do so. So we have Theo and Charlie following each other around the track. Mars Ranger has done a lap now and goes P2. A 21.4. Amazing lap, considering he's on scrub tyres, basically. He's done 3 laps on those. Charlie is about to start his lap. Havoc Connor has invalidated again. He is not having fun out there tonight. But then again, when it comes to Connor, Division 1 is his race practice and race testing for Division 2, which he will be taking part in tomorrow night. We have a fast-moving Red Bull who is invalidated. Skipper is the man behind, but he is not burning the battery. Moncho is on an out lap. Mars Ranger is on an in lap, I believe. Or he might be on a second fast lap. No, he's just run out of fuel as we've gone on board with him. Skipper is into the pits. Is D-Rush on a push lap? No, he is not. So, let's go with Charlie here. See where he can put his car on his first flying lap. Please ignore Theo's current lap time. He did a slow lap because he let Charlie go past. Charlie goes 5th with a 22.7. And that's unfortunate for Theo, because on his fast lap, he has invalidated. And I think that was at the last corner as well. So the next man to come around will be Havoc Connor. Is he burning or is he out of fuel? He is gearing up for a lap now. Okay. Still, that invalidated lap still was faster than Theo's. Okay, there are yellow flags in Sector 1 for Ricker getting out of the way. Let's see. Yep, Sport Mad gets well out of the way of Moncho, who is on a lap now. Let's go on with Theo. Theo is already invalidated because of... That's right, he got this lap and next invalidation. That's not what you want to see. Charlie getting well out of the way, not knowing that his teammate is invalidated. So the next man to come around will be Moncho. Let's see where he can put the car. Can he improve from 8th? Looks like it is going to be a decent enough time for him. He does improve his time by over half a second, but does not improve his position. So we now have Havoc Connor coming across the line. Improves to a 23.3. Not bad from Havoc Connor there. Benny has just finished a lap. 21.5 is his time there. Let's see. Is Cavolis going to be able to jump up the order a considerable amount? Yes, he is. Up to P4 at 22.2. He is going to be a nightmare for me tomorrow if he takes part. Same with Ricker. But here comes Cassell. Where can Cassell put himself? Up into P4 at 22.0. Good lap from the Ferrari driver. Now, is Moncho pushing? I believe he is on a push lap. Let's see where the McLaren man can put his car. Can he get himself anywhere near his teammate? No, he comes into the pits. We've now got Ricker coming around the final corner. A 22.2 matches Cavolis near enough. Only 18 thousandths off. Benny comes into the pits. Bog starts his lap. Connor comes into the pits. So I believe Cavolis is coming into the pits, I believe. Yep. Well, that's not the line you want to take on the pit entry, but okay. So we've got Skipper, who is now on his final 2 corners of his push lap. Where is he going to be able to put this Sauber? Will he improve? He improves by 4.5 tenths, but it's not enough to improve his position. His teammate has just started a lap. Let's see, is Ricker pushing again? Doesn't look like it. Bogarovsky, purple sector 2 from the Red Bull man. He was saying that he does not like this track. It's not good for him. He would rather not race it, but he's going to be doing it twice this week. So more fool him, I guess, for putting it on the calendar. And that is a 22.5 from Bogarovsky, putting him 7th position. So we now have D-Rush as the only man on a fast lap. He's burning the battery quite heavily into the fast right-handers here. Very close to invalidations, but doing very well to keep the tyres within the white lines. Oh, that's always a sketchy corner, especially if you do not lift. Where is this going to put D-Rush? That is a 22.3, up to P7 for the Sauber driver. So Moncho is on his outlap, just taking it easy, not taking anything out of the tyres. doing what he can to keep the rubber alive on the rims, just so that he can put all of the rubber down on his fast lap. Oh, it's very warm in my room right now. I do apologize. Oh. So, we will watch Moncho on this entire lap, and then we will jump over to Sportmad. I believe will be the next man to set a fast lap after him. Comes round turn 2, very neat, very tidy. Doesn't seem to cut turn 3 very much. You can get away with cutting that because there is no sausage curb there. With this being a MotoGP circuit, there are basically no sausage curbs because they don't want to cause serious injuries for the bikers. So everything is very much flat. There is a little bit of elevation change, but not much. Keeps it very tight through the long left-hander. Looks very neat through the triple right-handers. Oh, no. That's unfortunate for Moncho. That was very unlucky. He just went a little bit too deep into that corner. Didn't get his turn in perfect. Now we've got the fastest man on the circuit as it stands right now. Going around in the Haas when we've got 1.5 minutes left of qualifying to go. So pretty much everyone is out on track apart from D-Rush and Moncho. And at this point, I don't think they will be able to get out to do an outlap and cross the line in time. There it is. Moncho has retired in the pits. That is as fast as he is going right now. That was a personal best from Sportmad in Sector 2, but it isn't a purple sector. Where is the Haas reserve going to pop this car? Is he going to be going faster? Very nearly invalidates on the very final corner. A 20.9. Get out. It's just unfair to have him here these days. Mars Ranger comes across. A 21.3 does improve, but not by much. Cassell did a double outlap by the look of things. A couple of other drivers are on outlaps. Charlie has invalidated in turns 4 and 5 and was rather frustrated by that, by the look of it, but he's on an outlap. I don't know why. Let's see who is going fast out here. We've got Havoc Connor, who will be the next man to come across the line. Is he going to be able to improve his position? A 23.3 is what he's done. 23.0, he improves his time. Not enough to go ahead of Moncho. Skipper comes across. A 23.527. He does improve, does not improve enough. So Sportmad is on an in-lap, I believe, while the Red Bull behind him of Benny is looking to gain roughly 6 tenths. I missed the delta there. Let's see if he is going to be able to push his car to the limit. 21.4 does improve his time, but not his position. Bogarovsky behind him, coming across the line now, does not improve. Where will Ricker be able to go? Up to P4, 21.9 from the Williams. Theo comes across the line, goes P4, 21.6. And Cavolis, last man to cross the line, improves his time but does not improve his position. So that is your qualifying. Hi. They do like to make me work at the end of sessions. I swear to God, Division 1, please space yourselves out a little bit more when I'm doing comms on quali. My voice cannot keep up. My brain cannot keep up, let alone my voice. So there is your starting grid. The front row is Sport Mad and Mars Ranger. Second row is Benny and Theo. Third row is Ricker and Cassell. Fourth row is Cavolis and NLD Rush. Fifth row is Bogrovsky and Charlie. Sixth row is Moncho and Connor. And by his lonesome on the very back of the grid is Skipper. So, as I said before, we've only got the 13 drivers this evening out of the 20 plus that should have been here. But, yeah, it's just the way it is. Ladies and gents, now is the time, while the drivers are sorting out their strategies, if you want to join DTR in any form, as a driver, as a steward, as a commentator, or just a member of the community, there's a Discord link in the description below. Don't be afraid to hit it and come and say hello to us. Everyone is welcome, no matter what your pace. So the more the merrier. Anyway, this will likely be a medium hard or hard medium race if you can manage a one-stop. A one-stop is difficult around here, but it can be done. It's pushing it, but it can be done. Hi. Very, very warm. My window's wide open and I am baking. Oh, that is the other thing. If we happen to see Bogorovsky retire in the pits today, because he's sick and tired of the race, we may get him in the comms booth. We may have a co-comms for this evening. But that's only if he decides to retire in the pits early enough. So we will go on with Benny as he is in P3. There is a massive gap between, I believe that is Ricker and Cassell. Cassell holding up the majority of the formation. But as I said, it will likely be, if it's a one-stop, you'll be doing medium to hard or hard to medium. And there you go. A lot of the drivers are doing a hard to medium to see where the hards can take them. But I will say, the undercut here is quite strong. So if you're on the mediums and you pit on your pit lap, then you will have one hell of an undercut on the cars around you. So we will sit on board with Benny as he drives through the other cars. Sport Mad playing games with him right here. Did not faze Benny in the slightest. He managed to get into his box right on his marks. Even with Sport Mad ghosted in front of him like that. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Qatar Grand Prix of Season 15, Division 1. It's a good start from Mars Ranger on the medium tyres. It's also a good start from Theo, already up into P3. Mars Ranger has taken the lead of the race. Cassell is fighting with the Williams of Ricker, who keeps the position. D-Rush and Havoc Connor are fighting further back. Havoc Connor goes very wide. I think there was a bit of contact there. A little bit of a shove from the Sauber, I do believe. But we will have to see that in the steward's room later. Moncho is now having a go at D-Rush as well. That's the camera angle I was on about earlier on during quali. Now it's just a catch-up game for Havoc Connor. Charlie right on the back of Cavolis. And he follows him completely wide, so that will be a track limits warning. He is right on the gearbox. He does not want to wait around. So as they come across the line now, DRS will be enabled for the next lap. And Charlie doesn't need it. He has got Cavolis already. Bogorovsky showing his nose in the mirrors of the Alpine. All pretty much the same since turn 2 in the front 4, with Benny losing out to Theo and Sportmad losing out to Mars Ranger. But you have to remember, Benny and Sportmad were both on the hard tyres at the start of the race. They were on the harder compound and had less grip to deal with. D-Rush goes very wide through the hairpin and Moncho capitalises. He will want to get back into that 1 second gap now. He is 1.1 away from the back of Bogorovsky. Mars Ranger is starting to pull away from Sportmad. Is he going to be able to get away from him enough to get out of the DRS? Has he broken the DRS already? He has. Sportmad will not be best pleased about that. And D-Rush has got himself a penalty already. Is that a 3 second? Yes. So I didn't get the pop-up for the penalty there. Or at least I might have been out of time for it. Havoc Connor has actually caught the back of the group now. He's caught the back of Skipper and is within the 1 second. Bogorovsky has now got himself past Cavolis. So Sportmad is flirting with the DRS detection on the back of Mars Ranger. We'll have to see if he can actually catch and make use of the DRS in these coming laps. But he is a 10th further back than he was last lap. So I think Mars Ranger has now got himself into a rhythm and is getting everything out of his medium tyres as soon as he can, just to try and pull away from Sportmad. Yep, Sportmad does not have DRS yet again. Theo is the first man to have DRS. He's a little bit far away to really do anything with it. He can close up on the back of the Haas in front of him, though. Are there going to be any passes further back? Moncho on Cavolis with the DRS into the braking zone. Very clean move from the McLaren man. Job is done and dusted. It is now his job to catch the 4/10 back to Bogorovsky. Bogorovsky is doing what he can to catch up to Charlie. He will have to stay this distance until the DRS detection. Unless Charlie is struggling and lets him pass, But Cassell is the biggest gap away now. Oh, I should pay more attention to the front, to be honest. Look at this. Sportmad is within the 1 second. Will he be able to stay within 1 second in these next couple of corners? It looks like he will. He will have DRS. Will he be able to attack the McLaren that has taken the lead from him? Through the final corner. Let's see if he is going to be able to capitalise here. He might be a bit too far back. Let's check the closing speed here. Not quite enough this time around. Mars Ranger did just enough to stay ahead there. D-Rush has, however, got himself past Cavolis. It seems Cavolis is already struggling on the hard tyres. It's not like Cavolis to be this far down, as it were. Bogorovsky has caught right up to the back of Charlie. He is going to want to have to dispatch of him as soon as possible, because I can tell you the dirty air around here is absolutely woeful. I do apologise. Okay, I am back. Oh dear. A coughing fit that I did not want to have. Not pleasant at all. So, out of the front four, Benny is the closest to anyone else, but is probably not going to be able to make a move due to the DRS ahead. Yeah, so it's all the same up the front. We've got Ricker in P5, who is in a bit of a no man's land. He's more than a second behind the cars ahead, even though he can see the back end of Benny. But he is 4.5 seconds ahead of this man in the Ferrari, Cassell. Charlie has got himself a 3-second time penalty. We have got our first pitter. That is Cavolis. He is going on to the mediums now on lap 6. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. So, is Bogorovsky going to be able to get past Charlie? Charlie's rear tyres seem to be struggling already. He is wobbling through the corners. It's not a good sign for the Aston Martin driver. So I believe this is the closest Bog has been to the back of the Aston Martin at this point on the track. Takes a tighter line, gets a good drive out of the corner. Will Bog be able to get the move done on Charlie? Starts burning the battery. Charlie is no doubt also burning battery. Goes up the inside. Charlie defends from the outside. Oh, a bit of a wheel bang there. I'm not sure that was good racing from Charlie. He did well initially, but I think a little bit of oversteer put him into the side of Bog there. Bog will not be happy with that. Benny is right on the back of Theo in P4 right now. He really wants to get this move done, considering both Theo and Mars Ranger are on 6-lap-old medium tyres. They are going to be starting to die, where the hard tyres are going to survive at this point. Now, I know from personal experience, you can get the mediums to around lap 12. But at that point, they are getting close to puncture territory. But this does all depend on your setup. Sportmad has taken the lead from Mars Ranger. I do apologise. We saw it in the foreground. Just about. So a good move from Sportmad. Bogorovsky has finally got past Charlie in the Aston Martin. Charlie is fighting it back through turn 2 though. Could not get the move to stick through turn 2. Could not get his nose clear of Bogorovsky. Ricker has dropped back off of the group ahead. He is on medium tyres. So he is starting to slow up, much like Theo and Mars Ranger ahead. So we should start seeing drivers come in for their pit laps in about 2 to 4 laps, I would say. Moncho has overtaken Charlie through the long left-hander. That's not a usual place to make an overtake. Charlie is really struggling on those hard tyres there. It seems that his setup is not working for him. Theo is the first man into the pits off of the mediums. This is a rather early medium pit stop. I wonder, is he going to be able to take the hards the full 20 laps to the end of the race? Havoc Connor is also in to take off his medium tyres. Those two may have to go to a 2-stop strategy. Now this track isn't one that you can often get a safety car. And Theo is already going off of the road on his hard tyres. Of course, they are cold hard tyres, but he shouldn't be sliding around like that. Let's have a look at what's going on up in front. We've got Sportmad, followed by Mars Ranger, followed by Benny, and then trailed by 3.5 seconds by Ricker. Is Mars Ranger going to be able to make a move on Sportmad, even with his degrading medium tyres? He's getting ever closer, but not close enough. He just can't get the drive out of the corner. And yes, we did see Cassell pick up a 3-second time penalty as well. Charlie is into the pits off of his hard tyres. He has gone 10 laps on the hards. He's going on to the softs. I'm not sure that is the plan. But, okay, Charlie. You do you, I guess. Sportmad is starting to break away from Mars Ranger now. Mars Ranger will want to come into the pits in the next 2 laps. Just to get onto the fresh hard tyres so that he can make up the time on the likes of Theo and Benny and Sportmad when they come into the pits. Moncho is absolutely flying right now. He's probably getting a warning for that one, but I'm not sure if he was within the second of Bogorovsky as he came across the detection point. Benny is getting ever closer to the back of Mars Ranger as those medium tyres are starting to tear themselves apart. D-Rush and Skipper are both doing very well to keep themselves in the points and just get the laps in on these tyres. They're both on the hard tyres. But the closest drivers at this moment in time are the front 3. And one of them is going to have to come into the pits a lot sooner than the others. So let's have a look at the gap to leader. Theo has 32 seconds to catch back up to Sport Mad. It doesn't look like he is catching him. He seems to be struggling on those hard tyres. He's losing time hand over fist. It's not looking good for Theo this time around. And I've gone one too far. There we go. So, since I am not getting the pop-ups, let's double-check the penalties here. So, Cassell, Skipper, and Charlie all on 3 seconds. D-Rush is on 6. Havoc Connor is on 22. What are you doing, man? I've heard of getting all your penalties out in Division 1 and then doing Division 2 and getting none, but that's just excessive. Ricker is in the pits onto the hard tyres on lap 11 and comes out ahead of Theo, but Theo sweeps around the outside. Able to carry a lot more speed through the corner. And off down the road he goes. It will be interesting to see where Theo finally comes out in regards to the drivers at the front. Now, if I were Mars Ranger, this would be my pit lap. I would not want to be risking any more degradation on those tyres. If you look at the front left as we turn in here, you can see the pitting on that tyre. Yep, in he comes. So, who else is going to be ahead of Mars Ranger when he comes out? Let's have a look at where Theo is. Theo might be able to get close to him, not necessarily get past him, though. As D-Rush has got past Mars Ranger, and Mars Ranger is out ahead of Skipper in the other Sauber. So Theo has technically lost 6 seconds. Well, actually, no, it's come considerably down from there. But around 6 seconds were lost for Theo by pitting when he did, and having his slight moment after coming out of the pits. So everyone has spread out a bit, except for the 3 that we are currently looking at. This is Skipper on older tyres, and Theo and Ricker on newer tyres. I still think Charlie is an absolute madman for being on the soft tyres. I don't think he's done his strategy quite as well as he could have. So Theo on 4-lap-old hards, Ricker on 1-lap-old hards. Theo's tyres will be well up to temperature now. He should be able to get past Skipper with no issue whatsoever. Moncho is closing on Bogorovsky ever so slightly, and there goes Theo, getting the pass done on Skipper. Nice and easy. Will Ricker also get past him? So Skipper loses 2 positions in 1 straight. I mean, considering Skipper is on the older hard tyres, it's not a surprise. He's doing well to keep himself in the points at this moment. And you never know, he might actually gain a couple of positions if he is smart and pits ever so slightly early off of the hard tyres. But Ricker is now the man we will watch, as he is the closest to Theo. He's the closest to anyone else on track at the moment, as Moncho is losing time to Bogorovsky right now. This is a notoriously difficult track to get a safety car on. Even if you set it to increased chance of safety car. Because the walls are so far away, unless someone slams into it head on and takes a wheel off and is bounced back onto the track, you will not get a safety car. So D-Rush comes in before his teammate puts on the softer compound of the medium tyres. He does come out ahead of Havoc Connor, though. Moncho is now yet again catching up to the back of Bogorovsky, but losing time through the corners. Maybe Moncho's tyres are that little bit more worn than Bogorovsky's. And as I said earlier on, the left-hand side through these corners gets absolutely ruined. You will find that the right-hand side, the tyres, you'll at most hit 45% on both sets of tyres. But on the left-hand side, you will be over double that. So is Ricker going to be able to get the move done on Theo this time around? Theo is being smart with his ERS at the moment and is deploying when he needs to, just to keep the Williams behind him. So let's now check the time to leader. It's not that one, it's that one. So Theo has lost a second to the cars that he was fighting with up front. So he's still not as quick as those ahead of him. Mars Ranger still has 26 seconds to make up. So, and Sportman is now into the pits. And so is Benny. Both of them coming in on lap 16. We will go on with Mars Ranger. We will see if the undercut worked out for the McLaren man. Oh, and Cassell has gone off track and is going into the pits by the look of it. Gets out of the way of the McLaren. And that is a fastest lap from Mars Ranger. Didn't see what it was because I, for some reason, don't have the pop-ups. It was a 1:25.129. So Mars Ranger has come out just behind Sportmad, but is 4.5 seconds ahead of Benny. I wonder if Benny had a poor pit stop. Or potentially didn't get his foot down as soon as he could when coming out of the pits. But now we have Bogorovsky and Moncho, who are currently the race leaders. But your net leader is Sportmad, who is 3.5 seconds behind Moncho. He is being followed closely by Mars Ranger, who is now flirting with that 1 second time gap. He has brought it down, so he will be getting DRS this time around. Now, are Moncho and Bogorovsky coming in? Moncho's going one more lap. Bogorovsky does come in. And that's another fastest lap from Mars Ranger. Another 10th taken off of his time. Not enough to get him past Sportmad, but enough to get him an extra point if he finishes where he is. Kavolis is into the pits again. Coming off of the mediums that he put on. I wonder if he's going to go hard or medium to the end. I would probably say it's going to be mediums. Because I believe he started on the hards. So he is committed to the 2-stop. Now, if I were Moncho, which I'm not, but if I were Moncho, I would be trying to slow Sportmad down for Mars Ranger, but that's not quite what happened there. But Moncho has slotted into the gap, so he will be giving his teammate the DRS nonetheless. Are they going to fight? That was impatient from Mars Ranger there. That has allowed Benny to catch up, who has now set a fastest lap. 24.0. A whole second faster than Mars Ranger's time. He is not sitting down. He knows he needs to catch up. He is doing everything in his power to do so. Ricker still not able to get himself past Theo. Moncho comes out ahead of Cassell and D-Rush as Cassell gets himself past D-Rush. And Charlie has a puncture. Front left. How many laps did he do on those tyres? He did 8 laps on the softs and decided, yeah, that was a good idea. But now Cassell is closing on the back of Moncho, being chased down by D-Rush as well. Ricker is still following Theo. Mars Ranger is getting ever closer to the back of Sportmad. Is he going to make this interesting and try and do a DRS swap with the Haas driver to keep them ahead of Benny? He's just not got the straight line speed. He does not have the passing power. I wonder, was he out of battery? Not quite. Ricker still getting very close to the gearbox of Theo, but not close enough for the pass. Is Cassell going to be able to pass Moncho? Moncho is on the softer not softer compound. Well, the fresher tyres is the best way to put it. Jesus Christ, I need to be shot. I promise, English is my first language. Bogorovsky is now very much in no man's land. 10 seconds behind Ricker, but 4 seconds near enough ahead of Moncho. At this rate, Havoc Connor is going to have Charlie for company. I think both on different compounds. Charlie is on the mediums now, and Connor is on the hards. So Charlie should be catching the back of the V-carb. Not much overtaking happening. Ricker now has a penalty and is trying to make the move. He takes the dive. He does it. Gets the move done on Theo, finally, into turn 1. He will be happy for some clean air on that front wing. And now Ricker is just blasting away from Theo. He's stretching his legs. He does have the younger tyres, if I remember correctly. Yep, by 3 laps, his tyres are younger. Kavolis gets himself past Skipper into turn 1. Charlie and Connor coming into the final corner. Keep it clean, lads. DRS will open on the back of Charlie's car. Goes to the inside, gets to the braking zone. Clean move done by the Aston Martin. Havoc Connor is not having fun out there this evening. It's not a great track for those of us on controller. It's very much a wheel track, but yeah, it's a little bit worrying to see Connor struggling so much. Let's double check on all of the penalties now. So, penalties are Ricker, Moncho, Cavolis, Skipper all on 3. Cassell is on 6. Charlie and D-Rush are on 9. And Havoc Connor languishing at the back on 27 seconds of penalties. Oh, and there is Havoc Connor has been disqualified from the session. Let's see, can we see the pink V-carb anywhere? No, the car has been cleared away. It's unfortunate for Havoc Connor. It's not fun when the car does not want to stay on track. It takes a lot of concentration, and if you're not with it on the night, then it just piles up. So, Mars Ranger is the closest man to anyone on the track. And of course, these two have been going from the very beginning like this. So it will be good to see what strategy actually works out to be the better one. Because I have to race here tomorrow night, and I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. I had a plan in mind, but it looks like my plan would work as long as I've got the pace to do so. D-Rush coming out of the pits now. Sport Mad and Mars Ranger are catching up to the back of Charlie, who has just come around the final corner. We're going to see the Haas and the McLaren now. There they are. So these two have done an absolutely stellar job of getting their setups bang on this evening and getting their strategies right. We've got 6 laps to go, including this one. The question is, will Sport Mad's tyres hold out? Will Mars Ranger's tyres hold out? Because we've already seen one puncture this evening on the Aston Martin of Charlie. D-Rush and Skipper are running around line astern and causing each other all kinds of issues. Of course, D-Rush is on the soft compound tyres. Opens the DRS. Gives his teammate a wave on the way past. I wonder if D-Rush is going to be trying for a fastest lap here. But we will have to check back, because Mars Ranger is closer to Sport Mad now than he has been the last 3 laps. Oh my word! What a catch from Mars Ranger there. Almost speared it into the pit lane entry. So those rear tyres must be burning on that McLaren now. They must have been burning before the snap happened. Oh, Charlie breaking the brake boards for those of the other drivers behind him. So Moncho is now within Bog's DRS and is doing everything he can to catch up to the back of that Red Bull. Talking of a Red Bull, Benny has got himself a penalty now as well. What is going on tonight? Charlie is now on 12 seconds of penalties instead of the 9 he was last time we checked. Deary me. Are we going to get penalty bingo? We're just waiting for Theo, Bogorovsky, Mars Ranger and Sportmad to get themselves a penalty, and then we can scream penalty bingo and finish the stream. Sportmad has reacted to Mars Ranger getting so close last time around and has pulled out a bit of a bigger gap. Not too big to keep him out of DRS, but big enough to stay ahead. Moncho now on the back of Bogorovsky. Is he going to be able to get the move done? Bogorovsky, a little bit of movement to break the toe. Moncho goes around the outside of Bogorovsky. That's not one you normally see, but very neatly done from the McLaren man. Bogorovsky couldn't really do anything about that. Now this is where Mars Ranger catches up to the back of Sportmad. So I have a feeling Sportmad has a higher wing setup than... Sorry, I think that Mars Ranger has a higher wing setup than Sportmad, because he's able to catch him through the corners. But as soon as they get onto that straight, Sportmad burns the battery and pulls away. As that is Charlie coming into the pits, I believe. Let's get rid of the penalties. Mars Ranger still not able to get himself past. Will Moncho be able to get himself past Charlie's teammate in Theo? Bogorovsky going for the toe, looking for the slipstream as best he can, and it was a good choice. He gets the move done as well. So both Moncho and Bogorovsky get past the Aston Martin of Theo. And they've already pulled a gap out to him. That is unfortunate for him. I wonder if Theo is regretting pitting so early onto the hard tyres, because they are starting to fall away for him. Oh, that was a bit of a strange line from Bogorovsky. And he has lost time to Moncho due to it. D-Rush is now catching the back of Kavolis. We will come back to this later in the lap, as we've got Mars Ranger still flirting with the DRS detection, but still unable to make the move on Sportmad at this time. We've got 2 laps to go, and he cannot make it. Mikey, to answer your question, after this race, yes. Once the stream is done, yes. So, will D-Rush be able to make a move on Kavolis? Will he be able to get the DRS on Kavolis? A little bit wide from D-Rush there. He is closing, but it will not be enough. He will be closer than he was last time, though. Closes up to 0.3 behind Kavolis. Mars Ranger and Sport Mad come. Oh my word. Mars Ranger trying to play World Rally Championship around the final corner instead of F1, drifting it through the corner, is not able to make the move on Sport Mad. I think he knows he has to settle in now for second place. And Benny has fallen back by 10 seconds while these two have been fighting with the DRS. So Mars Ranger has done well to use Sport Mad for the DRS for the last half a stint, just to get himself away from Benny and secure his P2. Cassell gets himself up into P7 ahead of Theo. And what a time to do it. It is the final lap of the race. He needed to do that move just to get the extra points for Ferrari. D-Rush gets himself around Cavolis. I wonder, is D-Rush at risk of popping his tyres? He's got 6 laps on them. But here they come. Sport Mad crosses the line in P1. Dominant from the Haas reserve this evening. Followed by Mars Ranger in P2. And Benny, near enough 13 seconds back with the 3-second time penalty, is 15 seconds off the pace, but still on the podium. Well done. Ricker, 11 seconds behind him, but with penalties, still 11 seconds. Moncho is the next man to come across the line. Charlie is not happy. Bogorovsky comes across the line in P6. Theo will be P7. Now, it's a case of what are the penalties. So, Cassell comes across the line. D-Rush comes across the line, but is going to be overtaken by Cavolis. That's unfortunate for the Sauber driver. But he still gets the final points position as Skipper comes across in P11. So, well done to the podium sitters of Sport Mad, Mars Ranger and M. Benny. Good race from you all. It didn't quite go the way of the Red Bull team, but I will have to laugh at Benny on FIFA about that. But hey-ho, well done to everyone. So, your race winner, Sport Mad. Fastest lap was NLD Rush at the end. Driver of the day with the most overtakes was Moncho, and your cleanest driver was Sport Mad. So, P1 Sport Mad, Mars Ranger P2, Benny P3. They stay where they started. Ricker up to P4, Moncho up 6 positions to P5, Bogorovsky up 3 to P6, Theo in 7th, Cassell in 8th, Cavolis in 9th, and D-Rush getting the last point in P10. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the evening. We will be back tomorrow with Nellboy on comms for Qatar, round 10 of Division 2, 8 PM GMT. And we will be back for Division 1 next week, Wednesday, 8 PM GMT. Hope to see you all there. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.